Greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Engineer Sheikh Martin's YouTube channel, and welcome back as well to database management systems and warehouses. Previously, we have talked about a number of questions, which include database creation, table creation, domain integrity, entity integrity, referential integrity, and writing footnotes. Now we are on question 1C, which says give the user mid-rate the right to add data in the table. So we shall open our SQL editor, and then here, before we do anything, what we're supposed to do is to add to create the users. Therefore, the method of creating the users is so easy. You need to know the details about the user, which are in here. We've got mildred, which is the username, and the password is that. So that's what we're going to use to create the user. So to create the user, you say create. Create is better definition, command used to who are we mildred. Is it mildred? What was the question? The question was saying okay, you want to create mildred who is using this password. Alright, create user mildred identified by, and then put the password and that. Right, let's try to create the user. User created. Right, and let's create the other user. I'm sure the question is asking us to perform some actions for both users. It's Merido and Mildred. 4 marks. Alright, so for Merido, we are going to use this password. So create user Merido identified by this password, and then we execute that. Right, we now have our 2 users. Right, now the next thing that we want to do is we want to answer these 2 questions. Give the user Mildred the right to add data in the table complaints. So to give the user the right is to grant. So we use the grant command. The grant command. So the grant command, we write it this way. We want to grant the command the rights to Mildred, and Mildred is granted the right to do what? To add. So adding command, the command to add is insert. So we want to grant the command to insert. So we say grant insert. So grant insert on what table? Table complaints, right? On table complaint on table complaints to who, check the question to Mildred. So you say Mildred here. I think this is the end of our command or our SQL query. Grant insert, we've granted the right to Mildred. So Mildred can now insert. And then that's what's required on 1C. Then withdraw. Withdrawing the right is revoking the right? The right to delete data from user memory. But we cannot revoke something that we haven't granted. You get what I mean? We cannot revoke. Alright, let's try to write the revoke command so that you observe what I'm saying. Revoke. What is the command? Delete, revoke, delete, delete on table, table users. Share. I hope this is correct. Is it to or it's from here? Should be from Medira. Right? Now run that. If I run it, I'm expecting to get an error because I haven't granted this right to this person. So what I will do is, the first thing is to grant that right to the person. Let me grant the right to the person. Grant delete on table users to and if I run this now, it's going to give me positive results, and then if I run this, it's going to give me positive results of revoking the command. Right, so that's the grant and revoke. We've now covered the 8 marks. Alright, so we've now collected all the 8 marks here. We've collected 8 marks. Right, so the next part is going to talk about SQL statements to compute the following: number of complaints that were lodged by customer IDs which were resolved, complaints which are pending and the number of days they have taken without being resolved, complaints that were resolved on the same day they were lodged. So for us to view the results practically here, we need to have the data inserted in our database tables. So we shall start by inserting the data into our database table. So I hope we are not going to take more than 30 minutes. I hope we're not going to take more than 30 minutes. I don't want this content to be more than 30 minutes. Right, so the next section of this video is going to talk about inserting data into our database table. Alright. So these are the records that we want to insert. So we open here and we say inserts. We are now dealing with data manipulation language, insert into table what? Table, let me check the first table customers, which is this one. So I want to have access so I can have a look at the columns that I have. Insert into table customers, and I need to know the columns that I have, and then I put the values and then I terminate. So here I put the columns. The first column is customer ID, but now okay, let's just say customer ID, and then what else they have? Customer ID, and then first name, then the next one is surname, next is email, the next is national ID, and then the values for these columns. So these are we want to insert values for these. So if I would want only to insert value for this, I only put that column alone and the value for that column here. So the first column is customer ID, and the first value is 0001. This is an integer, so we just write it as it is. And this is text, variable character, and then any string we put it within the quotes like that. And the first name is Jameson. Then we go, the surname is Mukange. And then the email is jamesonmukange@gmail.com. And then national ID is 04. Copy that. So copy that and then we paste it there. So let me remove that and then scroll that side. Let me just say values, because so that we have access to everything that I'm typing. Alright, so this is the value. So we insert this way. Insert into table name. The columns that we have are these, and then the values for the respective columns are these. And then we can highlight this and then run it. You observe that right, insert into is successful. So what we have now, we can check our table now. We can table customers here. We can double click it. Oh no, we can click here and you can see the values that we've entered are there. They're there now. Alright, so this is actually the query that you may write to view the records. Alright, so this was the command. But we can insert more than one record with one SQL statement. We've inserted this, so we can say 2 here, right? we can now add more. Okay, let me just leave this as it is, and then write another statement, which is I'm just copying that and then pasting it, and then I change the value here to 2, and then the other one is chain, which is like this: chain ho matambo matambo, and then we save this as an email. Put that as the email here, right? And then here we put the national ID. Put the national ID. But now we don't want to create different queries, so we can put a comma and then put another record there, and the third one is chain. Maguraushe. Maguraushe. And then the email is Shane Maguraushe TSML. So that's the email. And then the national ID, like that. So we have 2 records that we're going to insert at once. We now insert both records at once. Yeah. Something happened. Insert into that column count does not match. Okay, something is wrong. Alright, it's because we have to put the values, each value inside the brackets, so you can have this bracket like that, and then this one as well inside the brackets like this, and right, something like this. So let me try to run this. Right, we have affected 2 rows now. So we've inserted all the records, all the remaining records too. So we can check using the select all columns from, or we can just select from table customers. Okay, so columns. So we can run this, and then we'll have all these records. This is what we have inserted into our database table. Right, so let's rush through to the next table so we can insert everything. So I will move a bit fast because we've managed to grasp how we insert data into a table, but there are special values like the date. Here we're going to format the date using our user or custom format of our own choice. So that's what we're going to do as we insert the date. Right, so insert into what? Book complaints now. Insert into table complaints. And what are the columns? And what are the values? Right. The columns we have table complaints. Right, we have complaint ID. So you can have that way, and then say complaint ID, comma, complaint date, comma, customer ID, comma, and complaint details. Right, so I'm just double clicking on the column while my blinking cursor is on the position where I want to put the details or the date. Right, and I say complaint ID, this is a variable character. And then what's the value? This is the value. And then I can come in and paste it in there. And that's the value for complaint ID. Then complaint date, I can say date, and then I say, I put the code there, and then I put my date using the format I want to use here. So the format I want to use is year, month, and then the date. So I will say, I will just take this date as it is, and then have it inside the quotes here. Right, so that's the date. Then customer ID. Customer ID is 3. So when I'm putting customer ID here, when I'm putting customer ID, alright, when I'm putting customer ID, I have to refer to something that is already in existence. 3, we already have 3 here, so I'm pointing to this. In complaint details, what are the details? Expired rate. So when I say 3, I'm referring to Jim McGraw, and this is the customer who referred who was given expired rate. Now this being our first value, we go to the next, get another value, another row or another record. And the other record is saying that those are the records. Let me just take it as it is and then come in here and paste it, and then here I put the quotes. Now format it according to the syntax. So you put there and then put that, and then put that there, and put a comma, then 004. Here I can actually put alright. Yes, I can put 0 here, and then put a comma there. We don't, integers or numbers, we don't put them inside the quotes. Alright, I have another record. Yes. Now you see the other record that we have here is okay. This one is pointing to customer ID 4, of which we do not have customer ID 4. You see here, right? So we have to add customer ID 4 for us to be able to insert here. So I will still run it without adding customer with ID 4 so that you can see the error, you can observe the error. Now let's put the last record, which is this one. Then we paste it here. I put quote, single quote, comma, th, and then I put quote there. Quotes, single quotes, and there leave it like that, and then I put a comma there. And there I put a single quote, and there I put a single quote. Right. If I try to run this, it's not going to run successfully and give me positive results. It's because of this record. We are trying to reference to something that is not in existence. It's like somebody is trying to cite an author who doesn't exist. Here we're trying to refer to a customer who doesn't exist. So let's try to run it so you can observe what I'm saying. Right, try to run it. It gives an error. Insert into that. We want to read the error now. It says error, cannot add or update a child row. A foreign key constraint fails. So you see referential integrity is failing here, right? Because there is no customer with ID this. So if we want to execute it successfully, we may eliminate this record like this and then try to run it again like this. You will see that it's going to execute. Insert in the cannot add or update foreign key constraint. Is it saying this here? No, it has managed to insert two rows affected, records affected, 2 duplicate 0, warning 0. So we've managed to insert. So let's check the table complaints by select all columns from table complaints and then run it. Now we have these two records, but this record is missing. This record is missing because it's trying to reference to something that is not in existence. Therefore, we're going to add a new customer. We're going to add a new customer. So we insert into a table customers, and let me just table customers. Where is it? Yeah. And these are the values that I want to put. Let me just say enter, press enter here so people can see. And then I need first name, and then I take surname, then I take email, and then I take national ID, and then down there I put the values, and then I say enter, and then here I put the values, and then the ID that I want to put is, let me just do this. Let me copy the values here. and then enter it there. Then no, this is not it. I want to copy the client. It's the customer that I'm oh, there's no customer, such a customer. Okay, no customer. Okay, so the values for customer ID, I want to have what is the ID? 0004, which means it's just 4. We can just say 0004. In first name I can say Martin. Right, let me say Shakespeare, and then say Martin, and then that's the surname. The email is going to be shakesmartin@gmail.com, and then I say national ID is 0909. How many characters are we having on national ID in our domain? And then a character, say J 78, and this is variable correct. So we insert this record. Let me remove this part and then show you everything. So if we try to add this, and then if we are successful, definitely we've inserted that. Now if we try to I think we can now insert into table complaints. What do you want to insert? Let me just okay, let me just say this, and then I say values, say and add that, and then the values. Okay, here the columns, let me have this activated, and then table complaints. Here I need complaint ID and table complaint date, and then customer ID, and then complaint details, and then the values that I want are these. These are the values that I want. I've just copied these values from here, so these are the values that I'm inserting. Now put that, insert it, and then put code there. And then put the code there, and put a code there, and then let's try to run it now. It mustn't give us an error. Now if we try to insert this record here, we've now inserted it. It means we are now referring to something that is in existence. Right, so that's it. We have managed to insert the records for the two tables, now. Right, so that's it. We can now add records for the other tables that we have, but the video is now 34 minutes. I will just finish inserting records for these two other tables. So I will rush, starting with inserting into table users, and so this table users is not the system users, but it's just user defined users. So we have these records, so just copy all of them and then come here and say I need these columns for values, right? So this is it, and these are the columns. And then I can say here I need user ID, and then username, and then password, and these are the details that I have. So I am going to say this is an integer, right? So okay. Then this one is username, and then put comma there. Then close it, put a comma. This one, open it, put a comma there. And then here we say that, put a comma. Right. So these are the users that we are going to insert. And then let's check by selecting. Let's select all from table users. Alright, these are the users we have. Let's check on select all from table customers. We now have our customers, and then we have Chexa Martin. We now have that line there. Let's check select all from table complaints and check what we have here, and have these complaints. So these are the records that we have according to these tables. Now we're left with only one table to insert values. So the first, let me just copy the values and then write the query to insert. No, I need this part. And then enter, insert into table complaint resolve. Right, I want these columns and these values. So for the columns, I will select these columns, that, and that, and that, and that, and that. So these are the columns that I'm selecting, or these are the columns that I'm populating. So I may put an enter there for you to see everything. Now I'm putting the values. Yeah, the values. This one is a string, so I do that way. This one is an integer. This one is date, so I have to put that and put that as well. Put a comma. This one is a variable character, which is a string as well. Put that, put that, close, put a comma. And then here we open, we put that, put that, put a comma, put a comma, here say date, say that, do that, put a comma, and this one here do that, and then do that, put a comma, that, and that. Now we can run this query and it will insert duplicate entry CR0003. Okay, oh, okay, okay, okay. All right, when we defined our table, we did not specify to say complaint resolve ID and complaint ID are the primary keys. So we made a mistake, I think, up there when we created the table. Where's it? Right here. So we may just do this drop table if X is. There are so many ways of editing it, but I just want to have it edited in such a way that it looks like we're creating a table. Drop table if exists, table complaint resolve, and then we say primary key. What's the other? Let's try to do it that way, and then run this. Okay, so we're running this statement over there. Right, table that already exists. So drop table if it exists. Let's drop it first. Table complaint. I think I made it spelling complaint. Something like that. So I do that. Right. The errors because of spelling. Because of the spelling. Alright. If I run that, multiple primary key defined. Alright. So what we do is we do it the other way around. So I say primary key. We define our primary key here. Let's say primary key. We put the columns in there. Complaint ID and complaint resolve ID, and then we run it. Right, we run that. Now we've managed to create our table. Create table if not exists. We've managed to create it. So that's how we enforce entity integrity with a composite key. I don't know how I forgot about that when we were creating or defining the table. So that's how we were supposed to do it. Now you can go down there and have this executed. Now 2 rows inserted. Now it's no longer saying this is a duplicate. At least we've learned a lesson through the error. I'm sure we now have all the tables. You can now select all from table, complain, resolve. Then run it, you see the results. Complaint resolve is saving this. Now you can see these are the records that we have. Right, so we must be ready to run the next queries requested. But for now, I think I'll pause here. And then in the next video tutorial, we'll run these 3 queries to claim 15 marks. Alright, let's meet in the next video tutorial. Thank you very much for being present. Thank you very much for commenting, liking, and subscribing. Keep on liking the content that I'm sharing with you. Keep on subscribing through sharing with your colleagues who haven't subscribed yet, so that we have more people getting the assistance. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.